Welcome. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another edition of Vibing with the Truth. Here with a gentleman I've been a fan of for a very, very long time since I saw him perform out in, it was a 222 Hollywood at Choice's old spot on stage. The amount of energy and effort he put into, even though, he was going through Ramadan at the time, you wouldn't think. Because he still had all that energy. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Shamaj. How you doing today, man?
Yo, life is good, thank God. Life is good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So how was it waking up this morning? Everything's good? No issues? No problems?
Yeah, no, I'm extremely tired, but that just means I'm working hard, so that's good.
Absolutely. I always say, I'll rest when I'm dead.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I'll rest when I'm dead. I only get a couple hours of sleep myself. So many things going on. So many videos you have to edit and so forth and so forth. So it gets kind of crazy. So how many hours do you roughly get to sleep?
Maybe about like 5 or 6.
5 or 6 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you good, man. I'm like 3 or 4.
I get 3 or 4 some days, but lately I've been trying to work on it and get better at it. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you kind of like map out your day? Do you plan your day out ahead? All right, well, tomorrow this is what I have to do. Or you just kind of like, start from when you get up in the morning, see what kind of texts you've received and stuff like that?
Yeah. A lot of times it depends on like working with other people. Like I try to schedule everything like a week in advance. And it's funny, I'm still like late to everything. I still never get anything done on time. But I'll be trying.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so, I got kind of a sneak preview last night, so I know a little something that, you said you got some skills, So if it came to one meal that you could prepare, you know what I mean, for your household, you, your wife, and your fam, something you have to do for the rest of your life, your favorite, what would it be?
I'd have to say fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and maybe a side of broccoli.
Side of broccoli?
Yeah.
With macaroni? Okay, that's different. Okay. All right, so what are you washing it down when you're more of a tea guy, water, lemonade?
I've been trying to drink water a lot more lately, but I love juice.
Love juice?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Is there a particular type of brand you like, or?
I mean, they could sponsor me and we'll find out.
Well, I mean, I always say, look at this from this standpoint. I have learned from Tiffany Haddish. Because she was a big Groupon user. Now she sponsors.
Yeah.
She's being sponsored by Groupon.
Yeah.
So, when you use stuff a lot, sometimes it does work out in your favor.
No, most definitely. If that's the case, I'd probably say I really love sparkling apple cider. Yeah,
okay.
It's an expensive habit, but
sparkling apple cider. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. As long as you're staying close to the restroom, because that cider just cleans you out, gets you all nice and good, works you through. All right, so now chicken. All right, are we marinating that chicken prior? A couple of hours, overnight. Can you let us know the seasonings you use? A lot of people kind of like secretive with the seasonings.
Nah, man, it's cool. I sometimes marinate it and sometimes just go straight off the bat, like as long as it's what's the word? Defrosted,
Right.
But when I marinate it, I usually have a bunch of the seasonings that I regularly use, but I also add like lemon juice and olive oil, so just really like let whatever I seasoned it get like in there.
Yeah.
But when I'm not doing that, I usually just use I season the chicken with I use Old Bay. Yeah, like a little bit of Old Bay.
Different.
It goes a long way.
Now
yeah.
I've always when it comes to like seafood, I've always Old Bay. But on like chicken, just okay.
You know what made me do that though? Joe's Crab Shack had the Old Bay wings, and then they got rid of them. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try to see what it tastes like with mine. And it came out really good.
Nice.
So, yeah, I put Old Bay in there, a little bit of chili powder in the flour. Like, I season my flour.
You like that nice little kick.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really not a kick when you're Jamaican.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of used to it on a regular basis and stuff like that.
Yeah, but my girl don't like any, like, spicy foods at all. So, like, I have to always dial it back, but just have it there for the flavor, you know?
So, now, I know, like, me and my household, everyone... loves different things. Like, I don't eat pork. My son loves pork. My girl, she stopped eating pork when we started dating, even though she goes on like it's the worst thing in the world. She just started it. Like, we're going on 6 years. But she don't mess with it anymore. Like, one of her kids like pork, the other one doesn't. One's into seafood, one doesn't. So when I cook, like, especially we used to have family night, you know, when I was with the other company, I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking 7 different things for 7 different tastes. So you, instead of doing that, you just, you know, lay back a little. But when, how does it feel like when you want that kick? Do you have to put something to the side?
I'm a very compromising person.
Okay.
Like, I ain't grew up, I should speak proper English. I didn't grow up with a lot of different varieties of foods. All I had a lot growing up was, like, peanut butter and jelly and hot dogs, and that's about it. But so when it comes to being lenient on what I want and, like, helping other people get what they want, I just I dial it back for myself.
And
yeah,
the Old Bay is new. I like that.
Yeah,
all right,
it's fire.
All right, we're talking about this macaroni and cheese because everybody think they know how to cook macaroni.
I use like 7 different cheeses.
All right, so I just wanted to ask you this: do you use sharp cheddar?
Do I use sharp cheddar?
All right, so you said 7 different cheeses. Name the 7 different cheeses.
I gotta look it up. It's like not a recipe I got offline. It's like a family thing.
Okay, we about to get some family secrets here.
I add my own little stuff to it. You know, make it my own.
Because it's a good thing. Because, you know, as much as people like it, some people not know how to do it. So, all right, what we got there?
So I have shredded mozzarella cheese, shredded 3 cheese, American cheese. I use Velveeta. I know that's usually considered like a white thing, but like
a lot of people.
If you mixing it with other stuff and it's not your main thing, it works really well. And that's I said like 7 cheeses, but it's really not that many. That's all I use.
All right, so you got the cheeses. Now, are you heavy on your noodles? What kind you do? Elbow? What number?
I use elbow.
Elbow, regular, the small ones, not the big ones.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
All right, now you preheat in your oven, or you just like turn it on, just throw the macaroni up in there?
I preheat it.
Preheat
it. Yeah.
All right, how many eggs you using?
How many eggs?
Yeah, you don't use
I don't
eggs
use any
Mac?
eggs.
All right, man, you hurt my heart. You have me going till you said that.
Nah, all right, you got to taste it then. You got to taste it because it's really crazy.
Here's the thing. I can't eat cheese.
Oh.
So it's like, I love pizza. So when I go and I order pizza, I like, you got to do it well done.
Yeah, I get that.
So as long as they do it well done, I can tolerate it.
You know what's crazy? I can't eat cheese. I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't live like it.
Yeah.
I just be messed up later. You know,
I'm the same way, but like I found a way around. It was like, all right, as long as it's well done. You know, I'm not talking about burnt, but as long as it's well done, then, you know, my stomach is like, all right, you good. Like, we ain't gonna fuck with you like we normally would. We let that one slide. Now, your broccoli, you know, you steaming it, you broiling it.
I broil it. I like little bit. Nah, I like a little bit of like burnt like pieces like on certain corners because that's to me where it gets really, really flavorful. As far as I just season it with like regular garlic, pepper, and salt, and I butter the pan a lot. And when it gets that little crispness to it, it's so banging. Yeah.
I feel you. All right. That's a good thing. Now, as far as the dessert, are you a big sweets man? I know your wife said she likes chocolate.
Yeah.
So how about yourself?
I love sweets, but I'm lazy with that because it's like to be able to cook dinner and dessert at the same time is kind of hectic, right? So if I make the dessert after I'm done eating, I'm already lazy. I don't really want to. So a lot of times,
if you had to munch on something, what would
probably like Haagen-Dazs vanilla bean ice cream. That's my favorite. It's perfect.
Crack in a container. I always call it.
Yep.
I don't know how Haagen-Dazs they do it. It just tastes good. Like
it's so different.
I don't know the brand comes anywhere close to it.
Not at all. Yeah. I think Haagen-Dazs is really good with the classic flavors, but I like things like cookies and cream and whatnot from Ben and Jerry's.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
like,
you know what? There's certain flavors I could say Ben and Jerry's kind of got like Rocky Road. You know, they put their own little twist on it, so it's good. Yeah. Have you ever visited like those Cold Stone? Now, like, I used to work at a place where I actually had to pack up all that stuff where they make all the cream. So I used to despise them until I actually went to a store and see how they make it right there in front of you. So what was your order?
I usually get something with like cookies and cream in it, maybe a little strawberries and some chocolate syrup. You know, so I don't like nothing that's like too
crazy.
packed.
Well, you say like 5 things. That's kind of crazy, but I feel you though. I feel you though.
Yeah.
Again, it's made right in front of you. It's fresh. It's not sitting in there. Yeah. It's not coming out of no freezer nowhere.
You know what's better than Cold Stone though? And I hope I didn't mess up a sponsorship there.
You good.
But this place called Gelati. There's one in Montclair and another one somewhere else in Jersey.
There's one in it's Patterson, but it's closer to like Totowa.
Yeah,
right by the graveyard.
Yeah.
Me and my girl on the summers, we drive over there just to get some ice cream and what's the name? Because we pretty eat similar, so there's only a certain side that we could go to. But I like to have.
I like the homemade little containers and whatnot.
Yeah,
not
and
the
I like how
the
they
big
put
ones.
the dyes up there. Well, this is the dyes for those people who can't eat certain things.
Yeah,
but when I go there, I like the ices. You know, I gotta have my coconut or my lemon.
Ask them for the. I know they have regular Italian ices, and then they also have the sorbet ones. The sorbets is crazy. You should try it.
I don't know. Everyone's tastes like, you know, everyone's telling you like something tastes so good. You like, damn, I might get addicted to it. I want to try it.
I get
That's
that.
like everyone talks about tiramisu. Like I'm so afraid of it because everyone says as soon as you taste it,
it's crazy. I love tiramisu for like 2 weeks until I found out like as a Muslim I can't eat anything with alcohol in it. Even if the alcohol is cooked out, if it was made with alcohol, I can't eat it. So penny vodka pizza, done.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, you could get around it. Like if you know what you can do because you love cider, you can put cider in it.
True.
And that'll still give it the nice little kick, and especially your apples is just like hit you in the back of that corner anyway.
But I would still have to like make it from scratch. And I'm not doing that.
Because you like sparkling apple cider.
Yeah.
So instead of using the vodka, you can do that. And
I could try it. Good. Yeah, that one might not be bad. I'll try
something
it.
different. Yeah. That's cool. I feel you. Poor you can't drink. Have you ever drank before?
Never in my life. Other than actually, I had one drop of Nuvo from a recycled canister in the kitchen when I was like 8 years old. Only because T-Pain sung about it so much. I just had to know what it tastes like. And it was delicious, but I didn't really consider that, like, I wasn't thinking of drinking it like alcohol, and it was like literally one last drop, so I never really drank any alcohol.
Man, I love that, man. You stick it to your guns, man.
Yeah.
Me personally, woo. I mean, I've never been a smoker. I never touched it, never tried anything, cigarettes, weed, anything. But drinking, like the first time I've ever got drunk was off of White Irish Rose.
I have no idea what that is.
Straight hood shit. So, and you know, at the time, like I said, I was in Louisiana, and even though I'm the uncle, I'm the youngest. All my nephews are older than me.
It'd be like that in black families.
They was always in the streets and shit. So next thing you know, I'm like, oh, this shit tastes good. You know, I'm fucked up later. But no, that's cool. That's cool. That's good. Now, as far as your career, how did your music career start?
I've been producing since I was 8 years old, but like I didn't take it seriously. It was just a program that was in my brother's computer at my father's house, and I was just like addicted to it. Every time I went over there, I tried to run straight to the computer. And then I got it at my own house, and that's what I would do all day, just try to produce. And I wasn't thinking like, oh, I have to get these beats to people or anything. It was almost like playing a video game for me. It was just fun.
So like, what about it? Was it the fact that, again, it may have been a video game to you at that time? But what about that specific software, or to hear, you know, that snare or that kick that made you was like, whoa. Yeah. That light went off.
I don't know. I just the idea that I could create sound myself and being so in love with music. Like, music's always been a big part of my life. I was never put in a choir or anything like that, but I always gravitated myself towards music. So just knowing that I could make things from scratch.
Right.
It had me hooked. I wrote my first rap though when I was like 10, but I didn't take it seriously or anything until I was about like 17. Yeah.
So what happened between you were working with the software, mastering your craft, and at the age of 8, and then we have 9 years later, and you said you wrote your first rhyme at 12. What happened in between there that made you was like, hey, I want to start doing this myself now?
I made one song when I was like 15, and it wasn't that bad.
What was the name of it?
It was called You Should Know.
All right.
Yeah.
When's the last time you actually listened to it, that track?
Shoot. Maybe about like a year ago, I listened to it again. I was just like, wow. Like, although my delivery was absolutely terrible, I still had flow and punchlines, which most people don't get until like later on. Like, that's not usually what people get first. So I'm definitely happy about myself with that. I've always had flow and I figured out flow and punchlines early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was it like the first person that actually heard your track, and what was their reaction to it?
The first person that heard that track was my older brother, and he was just like, "Oh, okay," because like my brother rapped, so it takes a lot to impress him,
Right.
and my father also rapped at the time, so it takes a lot to impress him. So both of them, they're just like, "All right." Like what they suggested that I stuck with like production because I was like miles ahead with that, even with experience, But I just really wanted to. I felt like I had things that the world needed to hear.
So what was it like when someone outside actually got a hold of one of your tracks, and how did they approach you?
Nobody really through the internet. I got some love early on, but in real life, people were just like, "Oh, here's another young black kid trying to rap." So it took a while to get that respect, Yeah.
Now, as far as the production side of it, what was it like when you sold your first track?
I don't even remember that.
Nice.
Yeah, I've sold like a lot of beats. So when I sold my first beat, I think I was just like, nice, like I could make a career out of this. I felt like it's good to have a job and do this, but eventually I was just like, yo, I'm making enough money from this to not have to get a job. It's a crazy blessing. How many people get that opportunity?
So how does that negotiation start from that standpoint to where, because unfortunately, like I said, I love black people, but I hate niggas.
Yeah.
And when people hear black owned, they think discount or free.
Yes.
So how easy or hard is it to actually sell a track? Like, how do you go about that business side of it?
Today or back then?
We can talk about back then compared to today, learning your lessons.
All right, so back then, although my beats weren't that great, I was just selling myself short and not caring. I was just like, oh, $50. Like, I make a beat, $50. And after a while, I was like, okay, I'm not selling that many beats. Of course, my beats weren't that great at the time. But I just kept moving the price up and moving the price up. But then I was just like, I can't just automatically like, oh, yeah, this costs this and that, because I might miss out on a deal that's better if somebody feels like it's worth more than that. So now I start out the conversation with, what is in your budget? Are you paying for this, or do you have some financial backing that's paying for this? Because if somebody has $1 million, why am I going to charge them a little bit of, like, not to say that if you have more money, you should be charged more, but the only reason my price is as low as it is for anything that I do is because I have a heart and understand that the people around me that are around me are trying their best to make it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever not sold a beat? Like someone approached you, and for whatever reason, it was just more lines like, no matter how much it was, Nah,
I've only done that with verses.
Okay.
For beats, I understand that it's all subjective. So somebody can do something that I think is whack as hell, and
still gonna sell that track.
Yeah, because the next person might feel like, yo, this is fire. It's like, to their fans, it might be it. But with my verses, it's a little different because it's like, yo, if I really, really, really don't like this song, I'm not gonna do it. And 9 times out of 10, it usually has to do with like what somebody says. Like, there's an artist who's actually, I want to say, 3 times as big as me when it comes to like the numbers and stuff like that. And we were doing this song together, and he said some line about it was either like something that was a little bit like womanizing, or should I say misogynistic. It was something that either was misogynistic or had to do with a drug reference. I don't remember, but it was one of those two. And although he's bigger than me, and that was an opportunity for me, I said, "Yo, could you change that one line?" And I think I gained his respect 10 times more. That could have went south, but
right.
Yeah, I really care about what I'm on rapping wise.
All right. So you pretty much. How many requests do you get?
Mm-hmm. A lot
compared to rapping features compared to production.
I don't think the production thing is as public because it's kind of hard to market production. Unless you're like a full-blown producer uploading on like YouTube and BeatStars every day, which I am a full-blown producer, don't get it wrong or anything. But I market myself. My media presence says rapper. So most people don't know that. I talk about it every once in a while, but every time that I talk about it...
I didn't know you until you said it last night. I just knew you as the performer. I didn't know you as the, behind the scenes also.
Mm-hmm. Every time I talk about it, there's at least one new person that says, "Yo, I didn't know you produce." So, yeah.
Now, are you big? Now, I feel a little certain way about it, but you personally, are you big on the whole putting all your tracks up on YouTube and shit like that?
Not my beats. I never upload my beat. I tried it one time, but I was like, it even felt weird doing it. It didn't feel right because you're giving everybody the opportunity to just snatch your stuff up. And even if you sue them later, even if it's copywritten, it's like...
Well, you're not going to know about it because you have a lot of people that... Like back in the days, what we used to do is people would jack a person's track, make a mixtape, and sell it. Yeah. So unless you got gigantic, that person would never knew. Yeah. That's something that
it's true. It is very... Sorry. It's very true. But you're messing your opportunity up for that fire-ass beat for a professional artist to work on it. Because even me, I'm not even that crazy, like, as far as popularity goes, but... I don't touch a beat if I feel like I heard it somewhere else before. I won't, because I don't want anybody to have what I have. I like exclusivity. Yeah. That's extremely important to me.
Well, unfortunately, you do have a lot of artists out here just grabbing tracks and going and recording. Like, I'm like, hold on. So you actually paid a producer or you went to a studio engineer to have them make this track and you don't own it?
Yeah,
like, that makes absolutely no sense to me.
That too, yeah.
That's crazy. It truly is. Now, how did you get affiliated with SoundCloud? How did that work? Who brought it to you and getting there? Were you hesitant or?
No, when it came to that, because I started on SoundCloud very early in my career. I didn't have any music anywhere else, actually, other than, what was it called, Reverb Nation, which is like way back. But I realized like Reverb Nation was losing its popularity as a company, and there was something new on the rise. And this is back when I used to just listen to music online. I would look for music online, and I realized, why do I ended up on this SoundCloud website? Why do I keep finding stuff here? And I said, all right, how do I get my music on here? There's a lot of artists on here right now. It's easy as uploading. So I just started uploading on there. Yeah.
So how did that million views feel? Like,
I didn't get 1 million on SoundCloud yet. I got 500,000 on SoundCloud, but
it was Spotify. You got
Spotify. I got most of my streams from, but collectively through all streaming platforms except I didn't count SoundCloud because not everything is monetized on there. Yeah. But
everything better with it. I give them that.
Yeah, no, they are, and I'm talking about my music in general.
Right.
But as far as everything that I've uploaded, all streaming platforms that cost money. I have over 1 million streams collectively. So
now, how does that feel? Where you have so many artists that may be a little more polished or may have more finances to you that you actually have more streams than they do?
You know what's funny? I didn't look at it until I posted it. Or I would actually, you know how Spotify does the thing where like they show you your numbers at the end of the year and all of the artists posted and whatnot. I noticed that a lot of my peers who have way more followers than me didn't have nowhere near as many streams, and I'm just like, that made me, for once in my life, I felt special because I was like, a lot of people have these great personalities, and I may not know how to put myself out there with content, but my music And the numbers show that my music is what people care about mostly with me. So that's amazing to me.
So how do you go about pushing you as your brand? Because you are your brand.
How do I go about pushing myself?
Because, like, again, you don't have the, what I like to call it, slave master job.
Yeah.
You know, where you're making someone else even wealthier.
Yeah.
You know, you do everything yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work for you? The fact that you're doing so well at it that you can actually survive off of it.
That right there means the world to me. I think it would break my heart if I had to get a job again, unless I was having a kid. If I was having a kid and I knew that I was responsible for somebody else's life to that extent, then I'd be like, okay, I have to do what I got to do. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? But other than that, like as an independent person, I'm happy. I'm really happy about it.
So how do you go about budgeting yourself to make sure? Because again, you know, you're not living at home with the parents. You know, it's you, your wife, and another family member. So, you know, and I don't care where you at. There's rent, there's cable, there's this, there's clothes, there's, you know, insurance. How do you go through your process to make sure you bring in this amount of money to make sure that everything is taken care of?
It takes a lot of discipline, an extreme amount of discipline. I'm not going like front and be like, yo, yeah, nah, I'm doing great, and I have like a crazy savings. Like I'm definitely living month to month, you know, but it takes a crazy amount of discipline and grind. You can't always grind when you feel like it. You can have money at one point and be like, yeah, I'm doing great right now. I have time to relax. No, you don't. You got to get back on that horse and keep going.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You know, stay up and continue to grind.
Exactly.
So how? In your eyes, what numbers would you believe you would want to bring in? For like I said, in your eyes, because everyone's eyes is different, and I always say it kills me how, you know, especially out of minorities, the words out of our mouths is we want to be rich.
Yeah.
Fuck rich, I want to be wealthy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want something that I can pass down to my kids and his kids and so forth and so forth.
As a human, we're always going to want more, right? But what I can say is I think I would never get anxiety ever again in my life if I could take care of my family. Like if I could take care of my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my father and younger siblings, I'll be set. I'm good. I don't really need anything else.
Now, what about visuals? I don't see too many visuals out there with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How is that something you will start doing in the future?
Yeah, visuals are very expensive. They're just extremely expensive. That's the matter of fact with it. And like I know some people are just like, oh yeah, but there's people who do it for like $300 and but it's like no. Once you build yourself to a certain standard, you can't just put out $300 videos. Like everything that I want.
You can. There are some people.
There's some people who are good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that like working with the directors that I work with, the minimum that I have to spend on a music video is $1,000. So, if y'all want more visuals, stream my songs more.
Real talk. Now, have you ever thought about, because the fact that you've moved from tracks to actually becoming an artist, have you ever thought about fooling around with doing your own? Because you sounds like you're computer savvy.
Oh yeah, I actually have. Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah, no, I have. I edit. I don't want to say all of my videos, but even when like I'm working with a different director and whatnot, I take place with some of the direction of the video. I try my best to add my creativity to it, and I've edited a couple of videos myself. Like I know how to edit videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you definitely have the mentality. You know, I'd say you would put, you know, and when it comes to cameras, it doesn't matter if you have a $10,000 one or a $10 one. When it comes to visuals, it's all about lighting.
Oh, that's true. That is very true.
The only thing
but I think there is a difference.
Yeah.
There is definitely a difference between that, because like I got more into it myself. Like I used to actually feel like that, and my videos were like looking decent, and to the average person you wouldn't know. But there's feeling that comes with music, visuals, and whatnot. Like people just think we feel with our hands, but we feel with everything. Yeah. We feel with our ears, we feel with our eyes, even our mouth. Sometimes the meal can be made the right way, but if it's not like the love put into it and whatnot correctly, it don't taste as good as another person's food.
Agreed. So I mean, hey man, give it that try, and it'll definitely happen because again, you've been doing it for a while. You've been consistent. Like I said, that you at the end of the year, everyone's posting, and you know you're up there a lot further. Now, is there anyone that you would like to do a track with that you haven't done a track with yet?
There's a lot of people, a lot of people that I haven't done a track with yet that I want to do a track with. But are you talking about like famous or like local?
It doesn't matter. Like, and it's all about who you're a fan of. At the end of the day,
I would like to get because I've been on a track of Blaze the Rebel, but I would like to get a full blown like us creating together more than me just doing a chorus song with him. Me and Jay Wonder got a couple of songs together, but I want to continue to create with him because we have really great, unique styles that mesh well. And Soulless, we have one song in the cup, but I want to do more with him and see if we can like tackle topics.
All right. Now, have you ever thought of creating your own kind of label or conglomerate?
No.
So
I've thought of it
right.
because people keep bringing it to me, but I never want to do that. Unless I have a crazy financial uproar. Like if I can like if somebody gave me $2 million right now, and I'm not talking about like a label because that's a little different. I'm gonna owe that money. But if somebody gave me $2 million right now, I might consider it. But I'm always going to give back to the community, even with my show, The Best of Essex. That I do monthly, I created that so I can give artists the opportunity to keep pushing themselves and have a stage to perform on for really cheap and just
let us know, man.
go all out.
One time we'll come out, we'll do some recording.
Word.
The reason I say that because I always like to go back to like, Cash Money.
Mm.
All right, they are an organization that pretty much, kind of got together, did a whole bunch of tracks with talented artists, and then went to a label and be like, "This is what we have."
Yeah,
and they got $40 million out of it.
Yeah.
So I was saying, like, if you.
But you know why they got that $40 million, right? Because at the time, No Limit was really, really popping. No Limit, like Master P, No Limit.
When they came out, No Limit was pretty much done. When that happened, and I'm a big Master P fan because I always say, to me, as far as industry wise, I said the biggest influences in my day and age, and I'm over 45. I would say it was Master P and 50 Cent. The way they dominated the game and still dominate the game.
Yeah.
Master P is the only rapper that I know that started the clothing line.
Yeah.
Anybody wanted to do it.
But I mean, what I was about to say with that, though, is Universal Music Group, as in like all of the labels combined, needed something that was like that.
Right.
And we're willing to put money into it. But $40 million? Come on, that was nothing compared to the money that they generated over the years.
No, I mean, but look what,
yeah, they definitely utilized that, but I'm saying that they were worth so much more.
Oh.
They were worth so much more.
They got it, though. Because, you have that, and then you have other situations underneath that. Then you had Young Money, and there's other stuff, and all these other artists, whatever. But I understand it's a lot to put in, a lot to swallow, a lot to deal with. And hey, because I always thought, when you have a producer and then they're talented themselves to perform, I think they would be phenomenal at picking talent. About
that's
cool
true.
Track and stuff like that.
I could be like somewhat of a A&R, or maybe I could, if the seat is empty at, I don't know, Def Jam or Atlantic or whatnot, as far as the CEO goes, I could step in as a president and facilitate a better situation for all of the artists that are in there. And like, I think I have a good mind when it comes to branding and whatnot. But by the time that I get to the point in my career that I want to do that, I might be too old to really understand what's going on. Like, and it's funny, I'm planning on getting to that point. A lot of people just feel like, oh, I'm going to know what's hot forever. And it's like, nah, sometimes you're not.
I think what it is like there are still to this day that people my age and sometimes even a little younger, a little older, are stuck in the 90s. They only want to hear the 90s. They don't want to hear no rappers these days. And it continue to happen. But at the end of the day, you're always going to be tied into that genre, which is why a lot of the artists who are from that time, they can continue to pay their own bills by touring.
Yeah.
Because there are people who still want to
hear. Legacy acts. Yeah.
Yeah, they still want to hear that type of brand, that type of music and stuff like that.
True. But it's hard to create... Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say it's harder to create new people in that. So, like, let's just say I was born in 1977, right? So I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan, right? And I get the opportunity to run a label, and I'm like, you know what? Let's bring it back to the glory days. I need some new Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? And it's like all of the people who were fans of Wu-Tang at that time, they're not social media savvy. They're not looking for people who are in that genre anymore. They're just, when they want to listen to it, they go listen to Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to find artists that are like that and bring them back in. It's very rare. The only people who successfully did it to me, Joey Badass, Griselda, like all of them, and I can't think of anybody else who's really doing that sound successfully because it's harder to connect to those people. They're not on the social medias and whatnot because it's full of the BS that people my age and younger are doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I say about that, because when people say, like, I always tell them, I remember when a lot of the other rappers and artists were wearing dresses and fucking skirts.
Yeah.
And they're getting on the artists these days for doing it.
It's
just a recycle.
Yep. And Jay-Z said, don't act like Tupac ain't have a nose ring, too. I love that line.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. All right, so from a producer and an artist, is it ever conflicting when you make something to like, nah, I can't sell that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you fight that? Because it's how you, it's how you, feed your family.
There's a rumor that like Samad don't give up he saved all the good beats for himself. There's just a rumor of that, but yeah.
So when someone approaches you and they say they want a track, do you go into what you already have saved or stored? Or do you make it straight new for them?
I try my best to make something. I even took down the beat page of my website because I wanted to engage with artists more. I felt like it's way more successful to have a relationship with the artist and not just make it a super transactional thing. And also, what I really prefer, depending on how annoying the person is, I prefer them to be in the studio with me when I'm making the beat so I can head in their direction that they want. And I always tell them like to try to give me a good 30-minute window before you have an opinion,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to create it. You got to start it up. And, sometimes when they click, it click. But other times it takes something you think about, something you heard or whatever, or the individuals themselves to actually get it on and click.
Most definitely.
So have you ever did a track with RAP?
No, I did not.
Got to get y'all together.
I'll go hard. I'll go really hard. Hit me up.
I'm gonna make it happen because I'm trying to do some things with him anyway. And to me, and it's my opinion, this ain't no slate on anybody. I think he's the most feared dude out here right now. Where as far as people kind of like don't want to do tracks with him, but they want to, because it's like a lot of times when people get on Jay-Z with the whole Eminem thing and that Renegade track, you're like, yo, damn.
Yo, look, everybody in Jersey, and I'm not saying I hate people who are like, yo, I'm the best in Jersey right now. No, it's all subjective. But I promise you, I'm a chameleon. If you get on a track with me or I get on a track with you, you are not bodying me. That's probably only happened one time, and it was because it was a sentimental song and I was trying to chase feeling over bars.
Right.
But if we rapping, prepare yourself. I'm not no slouch, yo. I'm not, and it don't matter what kind of song it is. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so what's happening now in social media that has your attention?
The coronavirus.
Now,
only because I have a cold, though.
No. But they say black people's immune. You know what I mean? They said every single case has been a Caucasian person.
Yo, anytime I get some news like that, I just be looking at God like, slavery was definitely crazy and whatnot, but like, you looking out for us. Thank you.
Now, the thing about the virus is kind of like scary and crazy because, first of all, we had no idea. Well, to me personally, it's my opinion. I believe it was made somewhere in a lab. But at the end of the day, the fact that it was kind of isolated over there, and now it's here.
Yeah.
And
I think that part was planned.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like anytime that there's a disaster, it makes a lot of money for different companies.
Well, I mean, you look at it, you can't find Purell.
True.
Like, literally,
I can't even find my Purell.
Yeah. We were joking about that on my job, and we were talking, and they were saying that just look up Purell right now and look online to see Amazon. It was like $300.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
It's just like, okay, well, if it's about my health or whatever, I'm gonna spend that couple of extra. And
but you gotta look at the companies that own the companies. Who owns Purell? I think it's that same company that created tampons.
Might be.
I think it's the same exact company who actually created a lot of different things, and they try to stop different things. Like, although we shouldn't care about this as men as much, but there's this thing called like a Diva Cup now, which is made out of like rubber and whatnot, and it's inserted, and it catches all of the blood for women, right? But that is counteracting the so much money that's being put into the tampons.
Right.
So I feel like they're trying to block that off, that kind of information off, that, there's always better options for people. You know what I'm saying?
If it's healthier, I say I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, it's healthier.
If it's healthier,
it decreases cramps and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
If it goes that way. But yeah, it's crazy because to me it's like, if I know that country has an epidemic, I'm not accepting anything in this country from them.
It's China. We're getting everything from them.
Well, I mean, that's the bad part. Like, from a business, like, are you more worried about the finances or rolling the fuck over and not being able to get the fuck back up? Like, I remember when it first hit, and I was on one of my other shows. Yeah. And I would say, I think this virus was created to hurt China.
That would make sense because we do get everything from China. But I don't know. I feel like the big business owners, they don't give a fuck about the people in the factories.
Well, here's the thing, to a certain extent. You are a number, but you're still a number that I need to exist to continue but look at just the fact of alone that Corona, that has absolutely nothing to do with the coronavirus.
Yeah,
but
they're
just
tanking.
Because that name exists, stock dropped 15%. That's fucking major.
Yeah.
To a corporation, 15%. That's a fucking 0.8 on an earthquake.
Exactly.
So it is hurting a lot of businesses, especially foreign. Now, there are certain things from China that they're not allowing into this country. Other things, yeah. But if you really wanted to hurt someone, that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, Donald Trump hasn't been really vocal about it, and he's been wanting to. I'm just saying he's been wanting to disconnect from China for years.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If I had to come up with something, I'm gonna come up with that.
Yeah.
So because China always did it, in order to sell your brand in their country, you have to turn over your patent. So that's why there's always a cheaper version that they create. Yeah. To have your patent.
Oh, that makes sense. They just come up
with cheaper versions of it.
Yeah.
And that's how they continue to just, sprawl out and keep making money.
That's crazy.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I was just going to say, that's anytime a current event happens, I feel like we won't know the actual truth about the situation until maybe 10 or 20 years later.
If that.
Yep.
If that. But if we can look it up, the amount of hit that China's economy has taken. Yeah. They made a dent in it so far. All right, so anything else in social that caught your eye other than the virus?
Nah, not necessarily. Right.
So when it's all said and done, and a movie is made of your life, who would have to play you, dead or alive? If you had to have an actor that had to play you. It could be someone we don't know.
I'm just looking at my face right now, like who looks similar to me.
That's not what it looks. You just want someone to be able to capture that uniqueness.
It's funny, Denzel Washington is so like he's older now, so it's like I would want that. I would want young Denzel to play.
I mean, he got his son. Honestly, his son is taking off now.
I haven't seen his son do anything yet, but you know what? either Michael B. Jordan,
Okay.
although no, because his last movie was really good. But either Michael B. Jordan or Young Tupac.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Who would you get to play your wife?
My wife. My wife is very, very uniquely beautiful, but for the sake of acting wise, I would say like a young Angela Bassett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
She
might need some lighter makeup.
For her age, because
Yeah.
like people understand, she's in her 60s.
Oh yeah, no, true.
And then the thing I always loved about Angela Bassett, like some people may not know, like she graduated from Harvard.
Oh, word?
From Harvard.
That is a special woman right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like with a cum laude, and she's still doing all these pro-black type, movies and films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she didn't, what some people say, get lost.
I was gonna say also Halle Berry would play my wife pretty good.
Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Okay.
They both got like really like young faces, and Halle Berry with her hair like out, the afro. The only difference is Halle Berry's a little taller.
Right.
But yeah, that could work.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm sure Denzel Washington and Tupac is taller than me, so
No problem. You gotta start watching. His son is talented. Looks similar to him. Looks something like his mother too. I don't know if you ever watched Ballers on HBO.
No.
All right, so he got a couple movies coming out. What about the? You probably heard about this. The movie that they did a real life. Well, they did a movie about a real life how the black man integrated the Ku Klux Klan.
That's his son?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? He would actually, yeah. You know what? Yeah, if whoever watching this years later, that's the one. He would kill that role.
Yeah, you know. So I'm looking, and I'm like, yo, dude got a familiar face. I've never been anything, and it came out, because he didn't want it out there because he didn't want to get anything because of his father.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I'm like, damn.
Shoot, let my dad be Jay-Z. Y'all finna know.
Every minute, every second.
Uh-huh.
All right, one more question before we get out of here. What's the greatest advice or quote that someone has said to you that has stuck with you? Like me, one of my favorite is always, I got a couple of them. You don't fail until you stop trying to succeed. And I always say, difference between learning a lesson and stupidity is when it happens more than once. So any kind of advice someone has given you that was like, damn.
All right, this one is, I don't remember where it's from, but it's just keep playing over and over in my head, so I got to say it. You said tomorrow yesterday.
Okay.
Something to help for people like me who procrastinate.
Okay. I remember similar stuff like that because it was always, hey, listen, I'll pay you tomorrow, and then the next day comes, and they're like, well, I said tomorrow. I didn't say today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think has to happen or that you would create that would help you better that?
About myself?
About yourself, to put more effort into it because you're super talented.
It depends on my passion. Anything that I'm truly passionate about, I get done immediately. Yeah. So
what grabs you like that? What
music, mostly music related things. And if I don't like the song as much as I want to, that's what pushes me away from it. That's what makes it a job. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. I want to thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
It was wonderful. I really appreciate it. You're super talented. I wish you all the luck and everything going forward. But I think you definitely have the video. You the way your mind works, man. I think you'll be phenomenal at it. And it don't matter. Like I'm telling you, I don't care if you get a webcam, man. If you got the right Adobe software, whatever, man, you can make anything.
Thank you.
Look anyway, man.
Thank you.
Any last words before we get out of here? You got any shows coming up? Please give them your social media outlets.
Follow me on Instagram at Samad Savage. That's SAMAD SAVAGE. And, keep that hand sanitizer on you. Keep washing your hands and drink a lot of water.
Real talk.
And, if you black, you ain't got to worry about it.
All right, y'all. We vibing. We'll see y'all next week.